In this video, we are unboxing and first drive of this Rlaarlo 12 scale all-wheel drive brushless desert truck, the AM-D12. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Troy. This is Roadside RC. You'll tend to find me bashing or crawling or drifting or racing, plus doing product review videos and how-tos. I've had a bunch of experience with some different Rlaarlo vehicles. I'm excited to get this one out of the box and see what they've done with it. So included in the box, the manual itself, which is very awesome, gives you all the information that you need to know about the vehicle, how to run it, how to operate it. But then back here at the end, it also gives you some assembly diagrams and some part numbers. So if you ever have any issues, you can get the parts and you can see how it's put together. We also got the normal T-wrench, a couple Allen head drivers, some spare body clips, got some spare wheel hexes. They do appear to be plastic, plus some spare wheel nuts. We have the basic charger that goes with the provided 2-cell 2800 milliamp LiPo. And this is interesting. They actually have a box here of Droop screws, a little bag, 4 Droop screws, it looks like. And these go into the control arms and help control the suspension movement. Really normally only seen on something a higher end rig. I will be most likely putting those in here just later in this video to help show how it works, and it should help protect the shocks just a little bit. We have the controller that has come with a lot of the Rlaarlo vehicles. Very nice. As also, eerily enough, the same one that comes on my Red Cat Gen 9 crawler. So very nice controller. I've had really good luck with it. Nice and comfortable in the hand. Good design. Does everything you need. You do, however, need to provide the 4 AA batteries for the bottom of it. But then here's the truck itself. Look at this. I went ahead and took the liberty of going ahead and putting the spare tire on the rear. It comes separately in the box, and all you got to do is set it down with one nut there in the middle. Body is good looking. 2 body clips here at the front, and then it tilts up out of the way for access underneath. We have lights here in the front. We have the big tires, pretty hard compound. I'm expecting these things are going to have some long life and not a lot of traction, but they should be easily swapped out with something else if you want some stickier tires there. I am seeing full aluminum shocks on each corner, and yes, they are completely oil filled. There's no excess springiness there. Plastic control arms, which is good, and plastic all hubs here. We do have adjustable suspension if there was some need for you to adjust it. There it is there. Overall, little drivers inside, somewhat partially molded cockpit. Like, thing looks good. Like, they've really done some work on the design here with these, metal panels and the carbon fiber strip. Like, they're really trying hard here. I do like it. We do have metal dog bones, front and rear. Looks like very nice. And we are with some kind of metal chassis, which is also very nice. Underneath the body here, this is where the battery was stored from the factory over here on this side. Quite nice little rubber pad underneath it, foam pad underneath it to help cushion it. We are looking at a standalone ESC versus receiver combo, separate power button, very nice. Brushless motor with the provided motor slide there, so you can, change gearing on it if you would so like. ESC is mounted on some big foam to help protect it, very cool. Slightly maybe micro-sized servo. It looks like a smaller servo for sure compared to standard 10 scale, but it does look like it is a 3-wire design, so if you did need to upgrade it, you have that options out there. It is a full metal driveline. We have metal diffs front and rear. We have metal drive shafts everywhere, metal gears. Everything is metal from a driveline standpoint, which is just as you would want it. Note that all the body panels come with a clear protective film that you can take off before you overdrive it. I am going to get into putting these Droop screws into the different 4 corners. There is an instruction manual here that gives you a little bit more, kind of helps you point out the holes that you're looking for to put the Droop screws in. One thing to note is you screw these in, you do not screw them all the way in. A Droop screw is an adjustment item. Now I want to give you a little idea of what this droop screw down in here is actually going to be doing. It limits the down travel of the suspension. In this example here, I have the droop screw installed on this side and actually have it run down pretty far versus nothing on this side. And when I pick up the suspension, you can see that this control arm is actually angling down. The suspension physically droops down as far as it can, and it's being limited either by drive shaft or shock. Is as far down as that'll go. The other side over here does not go down. You can see the control arm is actually more parallel, whereas this one comes down. That's a good way. Look, if I pick it straight up, you can see this tire hits and then the other tire hits as it comes down. That droop screw is limiting how far down that control arm can go. You don't have to use these, you don't have to put them in, but if you put them in just a little bit and limit that suspension a small amount, that screw is physically hitting right here on this little tab on the chassis, which means that is a physical stop in case you are crashing or jumping or anything along those lines, compared to it actually being the end of the shock limit. Being there can help with some durability in your vehicle. I'm going to adjust it to where it bottoms out the droop screw just before it would otherwise bottom out the suspension. And here's another way of showing it. So if I have the droop screw all the way in, you can see it drop, and now if I pull it back in, you can see how it raises it up. Enough of me talking, let's get out there and drive it. First test for any vehicle like this, can it pull a wheelie? Oh, and the answer is yes, yes it definitely can. Now, I want you to note my grass is really long right now, has not been mowed, and normally that's more of a problem for a small vehicle like this. This has got plenty of power and is powering right through it. Oosh, oosh. Oh, I hit myself. Maybe they should have called this thing the Wild. Oh my gosh. Fast, fast, fun to drive, but let's see how durable it is. We're gonna take it off the big ramp and do some big jumps. Beautiful. Alright, so it jumps really well. Easy. Most of these jumps are still at par throttle, but I think there's easy backflips in this thing, so we gotta give it a shot. Oh, it's almost got a double in it. Does it have a double backflip? Nope, not a double backflip. What if we do a big send? Big full-time send. Oh my gosh! Oh, it's a tree! Ooh, dude! That was way up there. Oh no! And it lives! Oh, that was epic! Oh, that was hard. Oh, that was bad. It went off axis. It hit sideways right on the side of that. Oh, man. What did it do? It just popped the turnbuckle off. Now, where did the turnbuckle go? Well, dang, that's not how I wanted that to end. But I mean, honestly, took a huge hit. I've looked over the vehicle since, and literally all it is that this upper turnbuckle here is just popped off and missing. I think it's only because it had such a hard hit. Typically, when one of these turnbuckles pops off, it is just one side. The other side's still attached, and you can just pop it back on. But that was a nasty hit right on the side from way up in the air. So it popped both sides. And my eyes aren't very good, so I don't see it. So I'm gonna have to wait till my kids get home and I'm gonna send them out there to find the dang part, put it back on. Otherwise, I looked the truck over, completely unscathed, completely fine. So really, really testament to Rlaarlo for taking that big hit and just popping a turnbuckle off. I'm pretty happy with it. I think as I look at it right now, this truck's listed on Amazon for like 180-ish. This thing's literally probably about the most fun you're gonna have for under $200 with RC. Like, I'd be honest, like that, it's a pretty good dating deal right there. So overall, compared to some other vehicles that I have recently reviewed in even a similar and perhaps slightly higher price range, this thing's really solid. Really enjoyed it. It was a blast to drive. It had all of the power. ESC control was good. Steering control was good. Very easy, I thought, predictable to drive. If you went full throttle, it got a little wild, if I'm honest. But under full throttle, you could send it on jumps all day long without any kind of issue. And it just drove really, really well. I really, really enjoyed this thing. So if you are looking for other vehicles in this price point or other reviews that I have done, there's a whole vehicle review playlist that'll pop up over here to your right. If you're interested in where you could buy this vehicle, there'll be a link down in the video description below. Thank you and goodbye.